Hello and welcome back to the third rail. Today, in response to a few viewer questions, we're going to have a look at remote control tracks and how to adjust them. When I say remote control tracks, I mean these things. They are special track segments used to remote control accessories, and these track segments all have a little plastic lever towards the center of the track bed. They are three types: the 5146 for straights, the 5147 for radius 1 curves, and the 5213 for radius 2 curves. I've described the working principle in another video, and you'll find a link to it in the upper right hand corner of the screen now. Whatever the version, they are not the most reliable things, and a very common problem is that the little plastic levers get stuck in an engaged position and fail to revert back to their upright position. When that occurs, any connected accessory will be permanently under power. This can lead to a few collisions in an automated scenario, but more importantly, this can also cause some damage to the windings of the solenoid accessories connected to the control track at the time. So why is this doing that? Well, the lever is mounted on an arm which is shaped to apply pressure to one of two contact springs depending on the direction of travel. The contact springs form an integral part of the current path between the track bed and the port on the side of the segment, and they are also there to apply pressure to the arm so that the lever reverts back to an upright position. If one of these springs is not adjusted properly, it might not be strong enough to push the lever back up, and the contact will remain permanently established. There are all sorts of reasons why the contact springs would get out of adjustment. It could be storage, it could be that some oil has been used in an attempt to make the mechanism work a bit better, or simply that someone has tried to adjust something in the past and it hasn't worked very well. That's easily fixed with a few tools. So we just need a screwdriver, and then to clean, a cotton bud and a bit of isopropyl alcohol. So we're going to go through the entire process in real time. We're going to start by doing a bit of cleaning. So we need to remove the lever arm from the contact track. This is done by pushing one of the tabs in which the lever arm pivot ends are inserted. We need to be careful there not to bend the tab to the right or to the left, and try and stay as straight as possible, so it's best done by pushing the top of the tab from the center. Then it's just a matter of turning the arm so that the lever comes towards the inside of the track, and then pivot it and it will come straight out. Now it's time for a bit of cleaning, so we just need to apply a bit of alcohol to the cotton bud and then go over the entire surface of the lever arm, not forgetting the little pivot ends, and then go over the contact springs with the cotton bud, as well as the little tabs on each side of the contact track. We can even quickly wipe off anything off the center rail if need be. The purpose of all that is to remove any grease that might have been applied to the track in the past. Now that the area of concern is tidy, we can have a closer look at our contact springs. Let's zoom in a bit and we can see that there's a difference. I've circled the ends of the contact springs and we can see that they are not level. They should end where the green dotted line is on the screen. So we're going to need to adjust one of them. We also need to check another area on the contact springs, which is the bend, which is located a bit further down, which I've circled now on screen. Now if we look at both bends, they should also be level, which they are. If we look at the green dotted line, it's not precision engineering, so it's okay if it's roughly at the same height. That should still work. The other thing that's important is that the inclination on each bend should be also roughly the same. So it's the case here, so we won't need to touch that area in this case. So based on this, I will only need to adjust one of the contact springs, and for this I'm going to need my trusty screwdriver. Before we go any further, it's important to bear in mind that the springs are very fragile. They're very flexible by nature, but only up to a point, and it's very easy to get them to adopt an unwanted shape if too much pressure is applied at once. So it's better to proceed gently and bit by bit. So to avoid any unwanted result, I try and put the chances on my side by inserting the screwdriver lengthwise under the spring so that it gives it a bit of support, and I go as far as the point where the head of the screwdriver reaches the nick of the bend. Then I use my thumb as a pressure point or pivot point, and I apply pressure from underneath the spring to slowly but surely lift it up so that its end reaches the same height or level as the other contact spring. Then I need to check my work. I need to reinsert the lever arm, turn the lever onto the third rail and reinsert the little pivot point into the tab on the side. Then I can slide the pivot point into the hole and then press the tab back into place. Again, it's important to apply pressure towards the center of the tab so that it goes back parallel to the track. So now we can check our work. If I push the lever, it comes back, and I push it on the other side, it comes back too. Very good. Now I need to do another check, is to make sure that the contacts on the contact springs touch the track bed when the lever is actuated. And it looks to be the case on that side. Let's turn the track over and check there. So just gonna push the lever towards me. Oh no, that's the other end. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. The contact end of the spring touches the track bed. So it looks like we've fixed our little adjustment issue. There are a few additional things that could cause levers to get stuck, but in my experience they're very rare, so that's why I'm putting those at the end of the video. The first one is a bit of a mechanical one. It could be that the lever is simply not aligned properly and rubs against the center rail under the track bed. That's a very rare thing, but it does happen. If we stay in the same area, it could also be that the tabs holding the lever arm are not aligned properly, or bent slightly, which would prevent the lever from moving either in both directions or in a single direction. There, it's just a matter of readjusting the offending tab or tabs. Another source of problems could be a simple accumulation of dirt and grease, but that's only happened to me once over the years. Right, these were the common source of problems with the levers on these little marvels of technology that are the remote control tracks. I say they're unreliable. I would requalify that by saying that if they're adjusted properly, actually, you're unlikely to have to adjust them again for a very long time. On the current layout, you can see on the channel, the only time I've adjusted them is when I set things up about 18 months ago, and since then I think I probably had only one go wrong out of 15 or 20. So this goes to show that it's perfectly possible to operate something in a quite intensive scenario with a relatively high level of reliability. Right, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. It's very much appreciated. I'd also like to thank the subscribers to the channel. It's always nice to see that people are so interested in the content that they feel the need to subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified of new uploads, and sometime even give me a like. That's all very rewarding and keeps me going. Many thanks again for this. Bye for now.